In issue 31, fitting the underside of the left wing, we're going to be winging it today. What could possibly go wrong?
For those who fought in the Battle of Britain, it was a battle for survival. For the free world, it was a breathless moment in history. For failure would have plunged mankind into a new dark age. Never have so many owed so much to so few.
So the parts check for issue 31 is 31-1, this beautiful wing. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a little bit concerned about the shininess. I may be doing a little modification to that at some point, just to matte it down a little bit. But other than that, this is absolutely beautiful. Look at the detail. Absolutely amazing. You have a couple of little panels, and then they finish it off with 6 2x3mm PB screws, of which one is spare. So moving on to stage 1, we need to take the wing assembly that we've done so far. Now I have got this ready. As you see, I keep mine in protective bubble wrap. I have just taken one side off. We're not working on this side, so I've kept that one covered. So obviously I've uncovered this side. Now on the Facebook groups, I did notice that some people had said, oh, I'm a little bit worried, it's the wingspan isn't quite accurate, and the answer that I said at the time, and I still maintain, this is the inner skin, this is the framework, and my suspicions were correct. Stage 1 will be placing this onto there, and you'll see that you've got lots of locating holes. You've got detail. This is all what do you call it, when it's all to guide things into place. So you'll see, for example, there's a strut there that falls nicely into there, and we've got some screw holes there. I believe there's only the 3. Yes, 1 2 3, and then as you can see, it adds length to the wing. So this isn't the wingspan, this is the wingspan. So we've now added an extra, what should we call that, 2 inches, 4 or 5 centimeters. So yeah, there's absolutely no need to worry about the length. Right, so the first thing I notice, because of the shape of the wing, it's not straight. As you push down here, it's going to push this side up, and obviously if we push this down, it's going to push this one up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the box around to there, and that will just support that a little bit. And what we will then do is we will move on to stage 2, which is to fit the 3 screws. 3 of the screws. No, there's 4 screws, I do apologise. So we have locating pegs. It notifies us of these 3 areas. It actually notifies us of these 3 pegs. But the actual screw holes is going to be, let me try and find them. There's one there, there is one there, and then there's the 2 there. So usual procedure, we are screwing into metal, so we want the screws to end up very tight. However, we are screwing plastic into metal, so we just want to be aware of those plastic pieces. So I'm going to place the first screw in on the outside, and that's going in just enough to bite. So there's the screw, and you see the wings now not falling off. And then what I'll do is I will move to the outside piece, and these screws are going in absolutely beautiful. But if you did struggle, there'd be no reason why you couldn't pop a little bit of oil on those. Now I did hear one trick which I quite liked. This was on, I think it was one of Build with Adrian's live shows. It might even have been a Route Master show. I think it was P40F20 had suggested pop a little bit of oil on, screw the screw in, take the screw out, wipe the oil off, wipe the excess, and then pop the screw back in, which I thought was a very nice idea. So I might actually try that next time I screw screws in. So that's all 4 screws in. So they're not in fully, but we're just going to test the fit. So there is a little bit of a seam line there, so you could take that further and fill it if you were that way inclined. I'm actually okay with that. It's not perfect, but it's okay. So what I'll do then is I will carry on with these screws. So we've got this one on the inside, and that's in. We've got one on the outside, that's in, and these screws do feel a little bit short, but I think they are holding. So let me have a look. So what we'll do is we'll test this, and I will try and pull this wing piece off. So they do fit. This one's awkward because there's no screw there, you see, so be careful there. There is a screw hole there, so we're obviously going to use that in a future issue, but where there is a screw, I do feel if you've gone careful there is plenty there. I can't pull that off easily. Obviously if I wrenched it, it would come off. But no, I'm happy with that. Just be careful you don't catch this bit, because that's not secure yet. Right, so let's have a look at the next stage. So step 3, on the underside of the wing, just forgive me, I've got my toe stuck in a wire. Right, so let's take this out and we'll just pop it as a middle support. There we go. So on the underside of the wing 31-1, I think I have this upside down compared to the orientation of the magazine. So let's make it easier for everyone. Right, so on the underside of the wing 31-1 there is a flap, red dotted line, and it's pointing to this piece here. This can be levered open with a craft blade, knife blade or similar. So we're going to carefully place our blade in there, and you see that that flap comes open. If anyone could tell me what that flap is for, I would be very interested to know. But I am a little bit concerned. If you go shoving blades in there, how easy is it going to be to scratch the decal? So be very careful. So for that reason, I'm going to leave my flap open just a little bit. However, the problem with that then is that this is obviously a black wing, and you can see the uncovered plastic there that's green, so we may need a little touch up on that one. Right, so the next part, it says oops, sorry, I just dropped something. Right, so the next part is identify the hatch pushing the near end. That's this hatch here. They're the center of the, right, will enable you to lift out the hatch. The hatch can be lifted out completely when replacing it, ensure you fit it the right way round. So let's have a look, and one area of concern I've got is there seems to be paint along there. So if I lifted that up, I don't know if you can see along there, there's no paint along the gap, but there the paint seems to fill the gap in. So what I'm going to do is, using my very thinnest, very sharpest knife, I'm going to very, very, very gently run my knife along. In fact, actually, I wonder if it might have been easier to do it from the inside. So I'm going to run my knife very gently along there, just literally using the weight of the blade, and I'm just going to keep running my knife, as many times as I need. Run it the opposite way. Don't need to keep pressing hard. The weight of the blade will just slice a very thin layer off the paint, and then after maybe 4 or 5 passes it should cut through that completely. So we'll just do along the top. And I think that will do it. So what we should do then is press on the white bit, and that should pop it up, which it's not doing. So all I've done is I've pressed the top in. So let's get, there we go. So I've successfully managed to lift that out without damaging any paintwork. And there is a small notch in there. Excuse me. And that notch fits into there. And again, if anybody knows what this panel is for, please do tell me. But that pops into there, and then there we go. As you see, once you've done it a couple of times, so to pop it in, I would line up the blue bit and push it down, and then you're pushing round about there where the notch is, and then to release it we'll push as far near the top as we can, and then that part there will just pop out. But also obviously I would avoid popping this in and out as much as you possibly can, but I would leave that one open. So guys, that is the end of stage 31. Fairly simple build, just a few screws, and it's quite a nice part. Now we're getting an idea of the actual width of the plane. Obviously this is going to be the most furthest point, so anyone that was worried that maybe it's not to scale, just based on the inner skin, please don't worry, look, because we've now added this much. So that's it for stage 31. Been a very enjoyable stage. Next week we'll be doing, or next issue we'll be doing 32, and our parts are radiators and radiator housing for the underside of the right wing. So hopefully I will catch you there, guys. Take care. Bye bye.